Hello everyone, this is Sam from Language Atlas, and in this video I would like to show you the Dutch B2 vocabulary Anki deck. In this video we will go over three things. First, I would like to show the course structure of the Dutch B2 vocabulary Anki deck. Second, I would like to show you the course content. And third, I would like to show you some brief system and editing options. Now you can see that I have the Dutch B2 vocabulary Anki deck right over here. Now normally you would double click to open the Anki deck, but I've already done so, as you can see right over here. I will maximize Anki, and I'd like to get started with my first point, which is to show the course structure of the Dutch B2 vocabulary Anki deck. I'll click on the plus icon. I can see that there are 8 chapters inside the overall Dutch B2 vocabulary Anki deck. It starts with chapter 1 pronouns, and then goes to chapter 2 conjunctions, chapter 3 verbs, chapter 4 nouns, chapter 5 adjectives, chapter 6 adverbs, chapter 7 prepositions, and finally chapter 8 determiners. Now if I go to chapter 4 nouns, you can see that there's a little plus icon in front of it. When I click on it, you can tell that there are subdecks inside it, 19 to be precise. Now what I have done is that I've categorized all nouns by theme. So we have a theme for academia and intellect, one for body and health, one for materials and substances, all the way to time, maths and numbers, and transportation. So whenever you wish to learn a certain theme, you are able to do so. Now that was my first point, to show the course structure. Now I'd like to go to my second point, which is to show you the course content. And I'll do so by having a look at 3 Anki decks within the overall Dutch B2 vocabulary Anki deck. I'll have a look at chapter 4 nouns, and specifically I will go to home. I will have a look at chapter 5 adjectives, and I will have a look at chapter 3 verbs. So I will begin with chapter 4 nouns, and then I will go to home. Click on study now. And this is the first card type that we see. We see a Dutch sentence with 2 blank areas, and it's your job to know what goes inside of these blank areas. We have an English translation of the Dutch sentence, and we have a certain part bolded and underlined. In this case, it is the kit. And you have to know what the kit is in Dutch. We also have a picture. And the picture serves as a visual representation of the sentence. It serves as a visual representation of also the word that we're looking for. And many studies have shown that if you have such a visual representation, it will be a lot easier to remember the things and the words that you're studying. So this will be a big benefit for your memorization. So, what is the right word? How do you say the kit in Dutch?
Het bouwpakket bevat alle nodige onderdelen. Het bouwpakket, een bouwpakket. De bouwpakketten.
Great. So we have a sentence area over here, which is the first area. We have a singular area over here, which is the second area. And we have a plural area over here, which is the third area. I'll begin with the sentence area. You can see here we have the correct answer sentence with a certain part bolded and in green. Het bouwpakket in this case. Now why is this so? Dutch has de words and het words. Most of them are de, but there also is a sizable amount of het words. And what I've done is that I've made all the de words blue and all the het words green. Now this will allow you to better memorize them. This little color coding, color association will really help you when it comes to memorizing whether a word is de or whether a word is het. So this is really to your advantage. So we have the answer sentence with the correct word bolded and in green. We have an IPA notation. And this notation is here for your pronunciation. So if you're ever in doubt about how to pronounce certain things, the IPA will really help you. We have an English translation of the Dutch sentence, and we have the audio.
Het bouwpakket bevat alle nodige onderdelen.
Great. Now we go to the second area, which is the singular area. We have the right answer in the definite form and in the indefinite form. We have the IPA notation. We have the English translation. And finally, audio.
Het bouwpakket, een bouwpakket.
And then we have the third and final area, which is the plural area. We have the plural form, de bouwpakketten. We have the IPA notation. We have the English translation. And finally, the audio.
De bouwpakketten.
Let's do another one. The envelope contains important documents. How do you say the envelope?
De envelop bevat belangrijke documenten. De envelop, een envelop. De enveloppen.
So what you can tell here, there's a small difference already, where the head word was in green, the word is in blue. So this will really help you memorize things a lot faster. But again, the rest you know is familiar. Answer sentence with the correct answer bolded and in the right color. We have the IPA notation, English translation, audio.
De envelop bevat belangrijke documenten.
And this you've seen before as well. Singular area, IPA, translation, audio.
De envelop, een envelop.
And finally, plural, IPA, English and audio.
De enveloppen.
Let's continue. The hook is sturdy enough for your coat. How do you say the hook?
De haak is stevig genoeg voor je jas. De haak, een haak. De haken.
Great. Continuing. The household consumes a lot of energy. How do you say the household?
Het huishouden verbruikt veel energie. Het huishouden, een huishouden. De huishoudens.
Great. The owner bought the counter for the store. How do you say the counter?
De eigenaar kocht de toonbank voor de winkel. De toonbank, een toonbank. De toonbanken.
So as you can see, you have everything you want. Sentence area, singular area, plural area. Let's do one more. Turn off the tap when you are done. How do you say the tap?
Draai de kraan dicht als je klaar bent. De kraan, een kraan. De kranen.
Great. Now, this was the first card type. Now, I'd like to go to the second card type. Now, we have seen this one before. The kit contains all necessary parts. We have seen the Dutch sentence with the blank area. We've seen the image before. But with the second card type tests your spelling. Are you able to have the correct spelling for the right word? Now, as we all know, language involves spelling as well, and the second card type really will aid you with that.
Het bouwpakket bevat alle nodige onderdelen. Het bouwpakket, een bouwpakket. De bouwpakketten.
Great. So you can tell that I typed in the word correctly because everything is in green. But what happens if we do not know the correct answer? Let's say I do something like this.
De envelop bevat belangrijke documenten. De envelop, een envelop.
So I was very close to
De
the correct answer.
enveloppen.
I was very close to the correct answer, but my article was wrong. I thought it was het, but it should have been de. But no worries. Anki corrects you. The incorrect places are in red. And what you should have had over here, de, will be in gray. So even if you make a mistake, it's okay. Anki will give you the feedback. So the second card type really is about, can you type in the word correctly? Can you spell it correctly? Which will help you with learning Dutch. So those were the nouns that I did. I'd like to go to adjectives. So I'll go to chapter 5, adjectives, and I will click on study now. And we have the following. We have the Dutch sentence with a blank area. We have the English translation, and we have a visual representation. Corruption is unfortunately widespread in the region. How do you say widespread?
Corruptie is helaas wijdverbreid in deze regio. Wijdverbreid, wijdverbreide.
Now you may have noticed that the correct answer, wijdverbreid, is in the color indigo. And I'd like you to know that this color means absolutely nothing at all. The only reason that it is in indigo is so you can immediately spot the correct answer in the sentence. Now earlier for nouns, colors did have a meaning. I said that the words will be blue and het words will be green. But for all other cards, all other chapters, everything will be indigo, the correct answer, and the color has no meaning. So it's just a visual aid. So let's have a look. We have a singular area, we have a sentence area over here, which is this, and then it begins with the answer sentence. Corruptie is helaas wijdverspreid in deze regio. And again, the IPA that you've seen before, the English translation that you've seen before, and the audio.
Corruptie is helaas wijdverbreid in deze regio.
So this was the sentence area. You're already familiar with this. And we have an adjective area over here. We see the adjective in its base form and in its inflected form. We have the IPA notation of that, and we have the English translation. Let's hear the audio as well.
Wijdverbreid, wijdverbreide.
So the audio allows you to listen to both forms. Let's move on to the next one. So we have this one. That is definitely a plus for your career. How do you say a plus?
Dat is absoluut een plus voor je carrière. Plus.
And in this case, you're very lucky because it's exactly the same thing. Dutch and English are different languages, but they are somewhat similar. So if you speak English already, Dutch will be not as hard as you may have imagined. So plus, plus in this case, indigo, sentence area, adjective area. That sounds like a reasonable solution. How do you say reasonable?
Dat klinkt als een redelijke oplossing. Redelijk, redelijke.
So you can see we have the sentence area again. Correct answer over here. Redelijke in the color indigo. IPA English. And we have the adjective area over here. That sounds like a logical explanation for his behavior. How do you say logical?
Dat klinkt als een logische verklaring voor zijn gedrag. Logisch, logische.
Great. So we have the sentence area. We have the correct answer, logische. And then we have the adjective area, which is logisch, logische. Let's do the next one. The monthly contribution for the association has been increased. How do you say monthly?
De maandelijkse bijdrage voor de vereniging is verhoogd. Maandelijk, maandelijkse.
Great. So again, we've seen this before. We have the sentence area. The correct answer was maandelijkse. And we have the adjective in its base form and in its inflected form. The IPA of it, the translation, and the audio.
Maandelijk, maandelijkse.
I could continue like this, and then we'd end up with the typing exercises as you've seen before, and we're here now. I could type in the correct answer, but you know what's coming. If it's correct, it will be in green, and if not, Anki will correct you. So I will go to Dex again, and I'd like to show you the final one. We'll go to chapter 3, verbs, and I will click on study now. The actors are going to stage the play on the podium. Now the setup you already know, sentence, blank area. What we need to know, or at least the English one, is to stage. So how do you say to stage in Dutch? And we have a visual representation.
De acteurs gaan het stuk op het podium opvoeren. Opvoeren.
So this is familiar. Sentence area, right answer in indigo, IPA, English translation and audio.
De acteurs gaan het stuk op het podium opvoeren.
And here we have the verb. Now there's something interesting about the verb, and that is that it's in its full verb form. To stage, opvoeren. Now this full verb form is sometimes called the infinitive. Why is this relevant? That is because once you know the full verb form, so once you know the infinitive form, it is easier to conjugate it. Everything is derived from the full verb form. Everything is derived from the infinitive. So all the cards in the verb deck teach you the infinitive. So this will really help you when it comes to learning Dutch. The lawyer wants to contest the evidence. How do you say to contest?
De advocaat wil het bewijs betwisten. Betwisten.
De advocaat wil het bewijs betwisten. So, betwisten is the correct answer, and you see it over here in its full verb form. Betwisten, IPA, English translation, and audio.
Betwisten.
The officers had to chase the car, to chase.
De agenten moesten de auto achtervolgen. Achtervolgen.
The bank does not want to finance the project. How do you say to finance?
De bank wil het project niet financieren. Financieren.
Financieren is the correct answer. IPA, translation, audio. Last one. The images can shock the viewers. How do you say to shock?
De beelden kunnen de kijkers schokken. Schokken.
And again, schokken was the correct answer. You see the IPA, you see the English translation, and over here we have the full verb. IPA, English translation, and audio.
schokken,
And if I were to continue like this, I would reach the typing exercises as well. So those were the decks that I wanted to show you. I'd like to conclude my second point, which is to show you the course content, and go to my third point, which is to show you some brief system and editing options. Now, many people have asked me, how do you regulate the amount of cards you see per day, and what are the right settings? I'll show you now. So next to Dutch B2 vocabulary, you have this little icon. Once you click on it, you see the options area. If I click on it, I see the following. There's a pop-up. I see daily limits, and I see new cards per day, and I see maximum reviews per day. So new cards per day regulates the amount of the new cards that you see per day, and maximum reviews per day regulates the maximum amount of reviews you will do per day. So a review is simply a card that you have already done before. Now I currently have them to 15 and 115, which is a nice amount of settings. I can recommend this to you. But if you want to do fewer, you're able to do so. I can do 5 and 50, and things change. I can increase it by a lot as well. I can do 30 and 300 as well. So you can see the amounts have increased. But I think a good amount that I would recommend for average person, I would say 15 new cards per day and a maximum of 150 reviews. Now, please note that this is a maximum reviews per day. It doesn't mean every day you will do 150, but this is what I would recommend. And please note that whatever you do over here, please do it times 10 over here. It's a nice little trick, but it will come in handy for you. Over here, we have something called FSRS. Now, what is FSRS? Essentially, Anki has a default algorithm that it serves you. So that regulates which cards you see per day. But this is a newer algorithm, and many studies have shown that this new algorithm is a lot better than Anki, default one. So I highly recommend that you turn this new algorithm on. It allows you to memorize things a lot more effectively and efficiently. So you do less time and no more. So I have this on, as you can see right over here. And for desired retention, I have 90%. So in summary, 150, 15 new cards and a maximum of 150 reviews. And if I go down, FSRS on and 90%. Click on save, and that's it. Of course, please feel free to enter whichever one you want. You can do 5 and 50. You can do 15 and 150. You can do more, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Now, that is it for this video. I really would like to thank you for watching. I want to wish you the best of luck when it comes to learning Dutch. You can get the Anki deck at languageatlas.com. languageatlas.com. I will share the links in the comment section in the description. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a very good day. Goodbye.